بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So today we're continuing discussing the hifzul lisan and protecting our tongue. So it is narrated that Malik ibn Dinar, he said, كفى بالمرء شرا ألا يكون صالحا ويقع في الصالحين. It is sufficient for a person to be shar, to be evil. I mean, it's bad enough that a person, he himself is not pious, he doesn't act righteously or in a correct way. And at the same time, he waqa'a yaqa'u is to occur. But when it comes with the irz and the honor of a believer, it means here to attack the honor of the pious. So one is, he himself does not act righteously, piously, and his behavior and his conduct is not the way it should be. But at the same time, those who do try to act righteously and piously and try to act in an appropriate way, he's always attacking their honor and criticizing them, backbiting them, talking bad about them. So he says this is one of the worst things you could do. Yourself are not doing any good, and then you are then attacking and criticizing those who are pious. And I mentioned this previously as well in one of the previous Nasiha sessions, that the sulaha, or those who, nobody is perfectly salih and does everything correctly, but some people who try, they apparently, or they try to act in a way which they think is the best way to act to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they often become the target of our ghibah, of our attacks, of our anger, of our frustration. And sometimes we ourselves, we just become too harsh on that as well. Like for example, yes, we should not behave, anybody who's deemed as a religious person, a teacher, imam, a maulana, a sheikh, a mufti, or somebody who's looked up to as being a person who adheres to deen, they should ensure. So if we are teachers, we are not, but people look up to us as people who represent religion. We don't, but that's how people think. So they should try to ensure that they do not do anything which tarnishes the name of Islam, or they should make sure the character is as good as it possibly could. But you have to remember that even anybody who is a maulana, a sheikh, an apa, a mufti, or an imam, a qari, a teacher, they're human beings. And every single human being is flawed. And every single human being will make mistakes. So you can't, and sometimes you're very quick to jump, or you're giving Islam a bad name. Or you're saying Gujarati, Maulvi thay ne wo kare. Or you're Maulvi and you're still doing this, or you're Mufti, he does this, or, but you have to remember that every single human being has the same natural characteristics as a non-alim or non-scholar. The same way you feel sleepy and you may oversleep, it can happen to another person. The same way you feel anger, a person who's not counted as somebody who's, what we say in Urdu, deendar, or attributed to Ahlul Deen, attributed to Deen, they will get anger as well. A person who's attributed to Deen, he is going to do something stupid once in a while. He has bogies in his nose, he might pick his nose, he might do something with bad characteristic, he may park badly, he may not drive correctly, he may do something. And it's just, you can't expect that, these are going to be perfect people. There's no perfect person. There's no such perfect people. Yes, if you want that, you have to look for the Anbiya. They're the only ma'soom. Do you understand? So, yes, they will make mistakes, and if they do make mistakes which are harmful, you have to point that out, and you have to make sure. If it's academic, then you have to critique them. It is how the world works. And if they do something which is harmful to other people, you have to point it out. But then at the same time, give them a break. They are human beings. They will make mistakes. It doesn't matter if they're YouTube celebrities, or if they're imams in a masjid, whoever they are. If they make a mistake, then it's not going to run. It's like, well, that's a human being. They will make mistakes. They have slip of the tongue. They will do mistakes. As I said before, if somebody who's not attributed to deen, they do something, nobody worried about it. Nobody does ghibah. Nobody even affects it. And I gave an example of a few last time. I said, like, I'm not going to say the name, but you have a few football people, like, if you say, he's a legend, a footballing legend. But nobody will ever mention that he had an affair with his sister-in-law. Nobody will say, he's a footballing legend, he's a top England goal scorer. Nobody says, but every time his wife got pregnant, he was always caught cheating somewhere in Las Vegas. They don't look at these things. They always praise him. So they never say, I don't want to talk about that guy. That guy's ridiculous. He's a very bad human being. He has no morals, no characteristic. They will look at only his footballing characteristic, or his money, or his business. They forget the other things. And when it comes to people of deen, something khilaf al-awla, some error, some mistake, you just, the rest of their life, you want to just do ghibah and talk bad about them. I said they will make mistakes, and human beings, whether they're ulama, whether they're muftis, whether they're shuyukh, whoever they are, everybody's going to make a mistake. Everybody's going to do something wrong. Their conduct, something is going to be flawed some way or the other. You're not going to find a perfect human being. So just overlook it, forget it. Yes, if it's something, I'm not saying that you have to overlook the critical mistake. If it's an academic mistake, then it needs to be analyzed, and needs to be critiqued, needs to be pointed out. If it's a mistake or an error that they're doing which is causing harm to other people, it needs to point. I'm not trying to say that, give them an excuse or anything. What I'm saying is that sometimes we're overly harsh, and we always jump on the bad wagon. Oh, you're giving Islam a bad name. You're giving ulama a bad name. You're giving these people a bad name. As I said, if an alim is only, just like you, if you're a 30-year-old person and a 30-year-old alim, they're both the same. He studied, but if the same way when you went to school, and if you pick up a bad habit of smoking, then you had a habit of smoking, you didn't leave the habit of smoking. This person was 14, 15, and he went to Darulum, he went to study, and he had a habit of smoking. He may not have tried to stop smoking, he did stop. So it's the same, yes, he should have stopped smoking. He should have stopped smoking because he should have enough. But sometimes the same way, a non-alim or non-scholar, habits become very strong and ingrained, he can't change them. Same thing will happen here. So what I'm trying to say is measure everybody with the same thing. And yes, people of ulama have more responsibility. I'm not trying to say to get out of it. They have more responsibility. Ulama, the sulaha, the teachers, the imams, they have more, but they will definitely 100%, they will commit sins, because only the anbiya are pure from sins. They will commit sins. And the human beings they make errors, and they'll be prone to human things. They're prone to anger, they'll be prone to all other human qualities. Yes. So I was telling a story last time as well. I said one time I was going to drop my daughter off to school, and one person, a normal guy, came out, tie in suit, came out his car. He got out of his car, went to the back seat. His daughter had in a car seat, she was drinking a cereal bowl, whatever. He got the cereal bowl, and he just threw the cereal on the floor with milk and cornflakes. But nobody's gonna make a big issue about that. I was shocked. I was like, what is this guy doing? How can you throw cornflakes in the middle of on the walking path? But nobody's, oh, you're giving, I don't know, who a bad name. And if that was a person, I'm not saying it's excusable. If somebody else does something even like slightly thing that, you'll say, oh, you give Islam a bad name, you give Muslims a bad name. We have a right, not right, but we're entitled to make mistakes. And that's what the media does. Like everything is a Muslim. Like Muslims are normal people. They're good Muslims and they're bad Muslims. And the same way you get people, you're going to get non-Muslims who abuse the benefit system. You get Muslims who abuse the benefit system. You're going to have non-Muslims who do stupid things. You're going to get Muslims who do stupid things because they're all humans. So what I'm saying here is that we ourselves cannot be pious. We ourselves are not attained. We have not been ulama. We have not been teachers. We're not alims. We're not. But at least love the salihin. And as long as their behavior is not muta'addi, it's not causing harm to anybody else, then the shortcomings you'll have to overlook that. Okay, well, this person maybe he's not that clever, but he's very pious. This person, he's very pious, but he gets very angry. He has an anger problem. Many people have anger problems, and he gets angry. You have to overlook it. Look for the good. Unless, as I said to you before, unless it's a mistake or an error which is causing harm to deen or it's causing harm to other people. I'm not trying to say cover that up, but what I'm saying is just be relaxed a bit and just say, well, just don't jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, you're giving a bad name to Islam, you're giving a bad name to this. It's that everybody's human beings, everybody's going to make a fault. I'm not trying to make an excuse for anybody. Everybody has to live the thing, and being ulama or being sulaha or being teachers or being people of authority, you have an extra position that you have to behave in a better way. But these things will happen. But don't just look at those one things all the time, and that's what tends to happen. Regarding ulama, sulaha, aimma, muftis, and that kind of time, the one error will just multiple, that just remains the rest of his life. And in other things, we never forget all those things. When it comes to football, when it comes to money, when it comes to celebrities, when it comes to other people, we never forget all the bad things. And we only look at them, oh, it's really good in this. What were the other bad things? So let's not become involved in this and pray to this. Okay? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to act upon this. Subhanallah, bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.